Okay, so I have a whole bunch of these old seed packets lying around, from some of them 2 years old, some of them 3 years old actually. But what do you do with all these seed packets that are probably not worth germinating in the garden? And you don't want to just throw them away. Well, here's something I'm experimenting with. Is I've taken some compost, some blue clay from right out here, which is this old, like from the pond restoration project. I've mixed a little bit of water and I've just been rotating it like so. And the reason I'm doing this is it coats all of the seeds with a little bit of dirt, and it makes these nice little balls with daikon radish in them, pole beans, all kinds of things, legumes, sunflower seeds, and they're all just nicely coated so that I can go walk around the garden and just chuck these off into the field. They're already coated in dirt, so I don't have to bury them. And you can just see some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger, some of them don't have as much stuff on them. But all in all, and in general, they've got a nice little coating. And you just have to keep rolling this back and forth in a bucket until you get the kind of coverage you're looking for, and you're done. So let me show you how I do this. So right here I have a small little bucket, and inside here I have a bunch of different seeds, including Maximilian sunflowers, some other sunflowers, elderberry, a host of things, some maple, a bunch of things that I'm not going to set up a nursery for. I'm just going to scatter them, broadcast them across the fields and let them lie and see what germinates and what doesn't. Like I've said in a previous video, you can I'm not actually, like I said in a previous video, I'm not actually mowing this year, so I won't be chopping all of these little things down that would otherwise just be mowed over. Okay, so in this bag is red art clay, so I'm going to try a little different setup with this. So I'm going to put a little bit of clay in here, handful or so. I'm also going to take some of this compost from in here. I'm going to throw that in here as well. You know, this bucket is actually a little too small, so let's put it in this bigger bucket. Give us a little bit more room to work with. So here's the dry mix. Add a little bit of water to that. Not too much. You're better off adding less at first so that you don't get too much of a saturated mess. What I do is I hand mix it just to distribute the water around and see if I've got the right consistency. And if it looks like it's damp enough and it starts to ball up, then I do. If not, so I just start to roll that back and forth and see what comes of it. Looks like I need a little bit more clay. Get that to hold together a little better. Starting to get some balls forming. All right, see them? See those little balls? Let's put a little bit more clay in there. And you can find this red art clay in any art supply store, or if you just have any clay lying around, like all that blue clay over there works. I just happen to have some of this clay that I wanted to try out. So, just trying to get the clay evenly distributed here. You can see the little balls starting to form in there. See them? That's what you're looking for. So now you can just go and broadcast these balls throughout the property, wherever you think you might want to see some of these things take germination. So let's go do that. So I've got a bunch of legumes and sort of radish and such in one, daikon, a bunch of other things. And then I've got elderberry, sunflower. Be nice to put some here. We're just gonna kind of throw these, scatter these guys. We'll see what happens, right? Problem is down here is a lot of grass. So if you've got bare soil, that's going to be ideal. Doesn't mean you can't try, right? Like I said, a lot of this was seed that I was just going to toss because it's old. Let's throw some up in here. One of the reasons for coating these in dirt, clay and such, is that it sticks to the seeds, it moistens the seeds, it keeps them damp for the period of time in order for them to germinate. But it also protects them from the birds. So the birds will pretty much decimate your seed population, especially some of these sunflowers, right? So, and sorry for the camera shake. I'm wearing the camera on my head today so that I can have both hands free. So some of these areas where I clearly have more exposed soil, I'll probably throw a few more down, just because I think the chance of them spreading and actually taking root might be a little higher. I'm going to save the sunflowers and stuff for over here, where I think they stand a much better chance. So this area dries out quite a bit up here, so I want to make sure over here dries out quite a bit. But over here is where the spring kind of runs through, and see here where there's nice exposed soil, just throw a couple of down, throw some down over there, over here. out there. Maybe a couple. Sprinkle these guys in here. Okay. Just walk through here, look for some bare soil areas. Right here. Let me drop a couple of balls right here. This isn't rocket science, right? We're just spreading seed up here in this zone 4 area. This is what I call the camping zone, but it's also sort of a nice spot to do grazing, pasture. And for me, I don't manage this area much. It's fairly far away from the house, as you can see. Sorry for the camera shake, guys, and sorry for the sudden movements. I kind of forget to slow my head down a bit. Okay, so there's the garden down there. I'd love to get some sunflowers growing up through here, some elderberry. And some of this bare soil. That's it. So, what have we done? I've taken a bunch of old seed packets, combined all the seeds together, added some compost, a little bit of clay, any clay will do, added just enough water so that it moistened the soil with that compost and the clay just enough to start to stick together. And I rolled the buckets until the balls started to form. And then I went looking for areas where it stays moist, damp. I'm doing this in early spring when the rains are still here. And I just went about and broadcast those seeds. And I'm just getting them out there into the dirt. The idea is whatever sticks, sticks. Whatever doesn't was either bad seed or wasn't given good germination opportunity. So that's it.